Coming from Reuters, SpaceX sell-off, an ominous sign as lock-up expiry looms. So that is right. The value of SpaceX has been going down and down and down. And pretty soon, a whole bunch more shares are going to hit the open market. So there is a massive question of what is the value of SpaceX going to be in a couple of months. So basically, SpaceX, when they IPO'd, the initial price for the IPO was supposed to be $135 a share. When they actually started selling on the stock exchange, it was $150 a share. Zoomed up within a couple of days to $225 a share, $2.9 trillion company. And since then, it's been going down and down and down and down. I did this screenshot a little while ago. It was at $136 a share, so $1 per share more than the initial IPO price. But to be clear, that is $14 less than what normal people were originally able to pay for it. It's at that point as of today, and as of yesterday, if you look here, it actually went down to $133.69 a share. So basically, it has gone down. Oh, if we look down here, the 52-week low was actually $132 a share. So as of sometime yesterday, the value of SpaceX per share was $3 less than the initial IPO price. But as I've said, that is $18 less than what normies were able to initially buy into SpaceX for. So it looks like the SpaceX IPO is in fact crashing, and we might soon find out how big the boom is going to be. Now, the curious thing with this, though, is you look at this and you're like, okay, well, it is what it is, right? So there was the initial pop after the IPO, that goes up, and then the excitement leaves, or people are trying to profit take, and so the value goes down. Why is Eli, the computer guy, being so melodramatic and talking about SpaceX exploding? The reason is because when they floated shares, they only floated about 5% of SpaceX's shares, right? So at a $1.77 trillion valuation, at $135 per share, they were only selling $75 billion in stock, so that was about 5% of the $177 billion. They actually ended up selling $86 billion. There's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into there. But one of the things with the initial sale of the SpaceX stock is that there was a very limited pool people could purchase from. So massive demand, incredibly small supply, that boosts the value of the stock. And so what we're seeing is that there's still a very small supply of the stock, but people are perceiving the value of that very small supply as going down and down and down. The question is what happens when many more shares hit the market? So investors, there's what are called a lock-in period. So many investors, many employees, those types of people, they have equity in SpaceX, but just because they have equity in SpaceX doesn't mean they are able to sell it yet, right? And so basically what's going to happen is the lock-in period is going to expire over the next couple of months. And as that lock-in period expires, more and more of these shares are going to be able to be sold on the open market. One of the things that gets very concerning about this is because you sit there and you're like, okay, well, just because investors can sell, just because employees can sell, doesn't mean that they're going to sell. Eli, you might not understand this as a not boomer, but the younger generation, we're diamond hands. We're just gonna keep this thing that we think is valuable forever, and we're never gonna sell it until we die. The issue that you run into, though, is, what's hard to explain to the kids out there, is actual adults have things like bills. They have taxes that they have to pay. They have to buy houses. They have to pay for kids to go through school. They have a lot of that kind of stuff going on. So if you've been working your ass off at SpaceX for the past 10 years, you've been getting all of your equity together, it IPOs, right? You might not want to sell all of that. And here's the thing, you might not want to sell all of it. Right? You might not want to sell 50% of it, but let's say you want to sell 10% of it. I can't wait to actually be able to live in a decent house in San Francisco, right? The rent for an average one-bedroom apartment in San Francisco is $3,500 a month, over $40,000 a year for the average one-bedroom, right? So imagine You have all this equity, it IPOs. You just want to take 10% off the table and get a fucking house. That's it, right? You don't want to be a baller. You don't want the Playboy mansion. You don't want your own private jet. Holy shit, you just like a yard that you can barbecue in, right? But here's the thing. Think about if all the SpaceX employees basically liquidate something like 10% of their shares so they can buy houses, they can buy cars, they can pay insurance or taxes or whatever else. All of a sudden, you start looking at scale. That becomes a tremendous number of shares that all hit the market at right about the same time. If we go over and take a look at this, it's gonna be bad. The dip in SpaceX's shares below its blockbuster IPO price of $135 a share is an ominous sign for Elon Musk's internet and rocket company. Oh, look at this. This is where they talk about Reuters. Reuters is a garbage periodical. This is not real journalism. SpaceX is not an internet and rocket company, don't you know? It's an AI company. Or it's a whatever the hell company he wants to call it today. As it faces more potential volatility in early August, when the number of shares available for trading on the NASDAQ stands to increase significantly. The company's stock on Wednesday dipped as low as $132.15 before closing at $135.27. It has now tumbled 33% from its record close in the immediate days after the public sale raised a record $75 billion on June 11th. I do believe it's now down something like 40% or whatever. Anyways, while SpaceX's IPO was the largest in U.S. history, it made less than 5% of its shares available for stock market trading, making investors fight for a scarce number of shares that helped value the company at $2.1 trillion after its first day on the NASDAQ. So-called lockup restrictions on insiders will lift in coming months, potentially flooding the market with additional shares. The stock is valued at 49 times expected revenue following the sell-off, still one of Wall Street's priciest stocks by that measure. By comparison, Tesla, another Musk-backed investor favorite, recently traded at a revenue multiple of 15. A series of restrictions on additional stock sales by insiders, employees, and early investors will lift over the next several months. In the first of those releases, rank-and-file employees and some early investors will be free to sell 911.5 million shares on the second trading day after the company's debut quarterly report. So basically 911 million shares are going to come on the market. Those eligible shares are currently worth about $123 billion, eclipsing the $86 billion worth of shares currently available for trading on NASDAQ. So basically when you look at this, the number of shares, so when these shares become available, and this is just for the employees, it means there's going to be 2.5 times more shares available on the market than are currently on the market, right? So currently on the market, about $86 billion worth of shares. When these release, it'll add $123 billion worth of shares, which is going to be a massive number of additional shares that are going to hit the market. An additional 455 million shares will be eligible for sale if SpaceX's stock price stays above $175 for at least 5 of the 10 consecutive trading days through the date of the company's upcoming quarterly report. All in all, restrictions lifted through December 8th will increase SpaceX's float of potentially tradable shares to 40% of the company, with the remaining 60%, including Musk stakes, locked up until mid-2027. So currently, and so this is the thing to think about, currently with a share price, this is with only 5% of the shares actually available on the open market. So they're going to 8x that. You're going to go from 5% of the shares available on the open market to potentially 40% of the shares available on the open market. And as I've been talking about, the share price is already crashing. What happens when the share price is already crashing and then you increase the supply of the shares that are available by up to 8x? I can't imagine it's going to be pretty. Especially when you look at what Elon Musk is talking about. Like what Elon Musk is talking about with SpaceX is actually kind of cool, right? Like this is the problem with Elon Musk, and this is the problem with SpaceX and Tesla and all of his companies, is if it was just within the realm of technology, it would be cool. It would be awesome. If it was just within the realm of engineering, it would be fabulous. The problem is he does all this financial crap around it, That just destroys the credibility of what's going on, right? So with SpaceX, they want to start providing a direct to satellite mobile phone service. So the idea is you'd have your iPhone or you'd have your Android phone or whatever else, instead of having to always be connected to some kind of tower, Earth-based tower, you could connect directly up to their satellite system, right? The whole Starlink system. That is awesome, but is a mobile phone company going to be worth $2 trillion? Probably not, right? And we talk about this with the AI data centers. Again, from a from a technical standpoint, AI one is cool. I just want to be clear. From a technical standpoint, their satellites are cool. So what he wants to do is put these AI data centers into orbit. It's called AI1. Go take a look at it. The problem is when you actually start looking at what these AI data centers are, it's essentially a rack in space. So each one of these satellites he's going to send up is a rack of AI servers. And you're like, yeah, that's, it's going to take you a while to get a lot of servers into space, right? You see like so much of that, and it's cool and it's interesting. The problem is that he's pushed the valuation of these companies to an insane level, and the real question there is how can it be viable going in the future? And I just don't see how it works out. How do you look at this at $130 a share and go, oh yeah, a rack of servers in space, that's going to be worth $225 a share? Or, oh, yeah, he's going to do mobile phones from space. That's going to be worth... There are some people out there with buy recommendations saying that SpaceX is going to get to $900 a share. And look, I mean, you're just like... what? Right? And they've got Grok, right? So Grok is their AI tool. So apparently with the government, right? The government employees have the option of using OpenAI, Anthropic, Grok, right? It's just one of they have any number of tools that they can use. And nobody's using Grok. Nobody's using Grok. Who is honestly sitting there thinking, if they really made Grok better, if Grok became a better frontier model, that would be worth $1 trillion. Like, you look at all these like really cool little technical things that they're doing. These really cool products that have real value, that have real utility, that solve people's problems. But this is not that valuable. So anyways, we're gonna see what happens here. So yeah, with 5% of the shares on the market, the stock is cratering. And by December, there could be 40% of the shares on the market. And not only that, it looks like Anthropic might be trying to IPO in the October timeframe. So what happens when Elon Musk, or what happens when SpaceX is no longer the cool kid? People start going after the other cool kid. I do not see how this stock recovers. And I'm wondering with SpaceX, what happens if their stock really does crater? Because it's so hardware intensive, right? The Starships, right? They've got rocket ships. They've got the Starship. They're still trying to make the Starship work. They've got satellites. They're building, right? There's a satellite Terra factory, right? For these AI satellites. They want to build a factory to be able to produce thousands and thousands and thousands of these things, right? So there's so much fixed asset cost. There's so much capital expenditure for what SpaceX needs. Can SpaceX survive if their stock price is $20 a share? Probably not. Probably not. And that's the weird world we're in. That's the weird world with these companies. We are in this insane world where if a technology company is worth only $500 billion, they are a failure and will go bankrupt. It's not a good place to be. So anyways, what do you think about this? What do you think about the shares of SpaceX already cratering, going below the initial IPO price already? What do you think about that with 5% of the shares in the market and 40% of the shares are going to come on the market by December? I don't know. Put your thoughts down below. If you like these episodes, do remember they're on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. The link is down below. If you want to follow me on LinkedIn, there's a link down there too. With that, see y'all later.